Hi guys, so I must admit to a guilty pleasure of mine. Some of you may share it, others may not, but I enjoy seeing the DUP, the right-wing bigoted party in Northern Ireland, get called out on the rubbish that they have been pumping out over the last number of months and years. Here is someone I've talked about before, Colm Eastwood of the SDLP. Here he is explaining two realities to Jeffery Donaldson of the DUP. First, that unionists like him have invested way too much trust in Boris Johnson, and that he has betrayed everyone who has placed their trust in him. And second, that the Northern Ireland Protocol is not what ordinary people in Northern Ireland are concerned with at the moment. Real bread and butter issues are what they're worried about. Enjoy.
Well, Jeffrey said quite a lot there. The reality is Jeffrey's waiting on Boris Johnson to ride over the hill and save him. Ask everybody else who ever trusted Boris Johnson in his life how that ended up. Jeffrey wants to make this election about the union. This election is not about the colour of people's passports in their pockets. It's about us needing to get round the table and get money into their pockets because they're starving, they can't turn their heating on. That's the real issue that are faced. And you must be hearing it, Jeffrey. You must be hearing the same thing that I'm hearing on the doors. And they don't care about protocols or positions at Stormont. They want money in their pockets because they're
Colm,
really struggling
That is simply not true.
It is true, Jeffrey.
And I'm sorry, but it's not. I am talking to many people, and for them, they are concerned.
The people at those rallies you're going to, Jeffrey, might be concerned. But ordinary people are not concerned.
The protocol is driving up.
I'm sorry, I love this because I love seeing the DUP get their arses handed to them. Now, first of all, the thing about Boris Johnson. Yes, Boris Johnson has lied to everyone, including, people close to him outside politics. Wives, partners, all sorts of people. So does Jeffery Donaldson truly believe that Boris Johnson is trustworthy? That when Boris Johnson says, I'll do something for the DUP or I'll do something for Northern Ireland, that he'll be that he'll be truthful? Boris Johnson? Okay. Then the second part, of course, is very important. So the DUP and the TUV have invested all of their political capital in getting rid of the protocol. And then, just before the election, the Northern Ireland Secretary of State, Brandon Lewis, basically said, we're not going to introduce legislation that would get rid of the protocol. And it doesn't seem to be part of the Queen's speech either. So the DUP and the TUV have been thrown under a bus once again by the Conservative Party. There's no legislation coming that's going to get rid of the protocol in the way that the DUP wanted. And it's probably going to be strengthened instead. But the issue here for the people of Northern Ireland is the cost of living crisis. And they know that it makes sense to have Stormont operating. And I think the DUP are eventually going to join because the pressure on them to do it will be extreme. Because it does not help the people of Northern Ireland to have decisions taken in Westminster when it comes to dealing with the cost of living crisis. As we've seen in Scotland, for example, one of the reasons the SNP and the Scottish government are more popular than Boris Johnson's government is because whatever money they have, they provide as much as possible to ordinary people. There are many initiatives in Scotland helping poor people that don't exist from UK-wide. And of course, in Northern Ireland, if they have access to the money that's coming from Westminster, they're able to decide how it's spent. Otherwise, it'll be Jacob Rees-Mogg or Boris Johnson or Rishi Sunak deciding how it's spent. And that's not good for the people of Northern Ireland. And I don't think most unionists want that either. They would like to have control over the money, how it's spent. Once again, the DUP completely out of step with the people of Northern Ireland and placing their trust in a proven liar and charlatan. I think, once again, I said this, the DUP and the TUV have invested too much political capital in getting rid of the protocol, and that has been proven to be a failure. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.